Have you ever stopped to wonder why you're really doing all of this? Why you wake up, rush through traffic, work 8 or more hours, only to collapse at the end of the day and repeat it all again tomorrow? Since childhood, you've been told a story, a script passed down from generation to generation. Work hard, save up, stay disciplined, delay joy. And eventually, if you're lucky, you'll reach that golden point called retirement. The time when you can finally live life on your own terms. But here's the question no one asks. What if that story is a lie? Alan Watts, the philosopher who spent his life unmasking modern illusions, once said, "We are always preparing to live, but never living." And that's exactly what retirement has become for many of us. A promise of freedom dangled like a carrot, keeping us compliant, obedient, and too exhausted to question the system. But when we finally reach that distant shore, we find that the years have passed us by. Our health has declined, our passions have faded, and the vibrant life we were saving for has become a ghost. The tragedy isn't just that we waited. The tragedy is that we were never taught how to live now. This video isn't just about retirement. It's about waking up. It's about uncovering the 5 hidden lies you were told about success, freedom, and the meaning of your life. And more importantly, it's about discovering the forgotten truth that Watts and other philosophers have been whispering for centuries. That you were never meant to wait for freedom. You were meant to live it fully, in this moment. So stay with me until the end. Because what you're about to hear may not just change your career, it could change the entire way you see life itself. 1. The retirement mirage. A life deferred. Imagine this. From the moment you can walk and talk, you're placed on a conveyor belt. School prepares you for college. College prepares you for work. Work prepares you for retirement. And retirement? That's supposed to be when life finally begins. But by the time you arrive, your back aches, your energy's gone, and your dreams, if you even remember them, feel childish. This isn't freedom, it's a system that teaches you how to wait, not how to live. Alan Watts called this a cruel hoax. Because while you're busy preparing for the future, life is happening now, and it's passing you by. We're so focused on reaching the end goal, the reward, that we forget how to enjoy the journey. Think about it. Retirement is marketed as the only time you're allowed to be truly free. But why is freedom delayed until the last chapters of life? What kind of system encourages you to trade your youth, vitality, and spontaneity for the hope of safety in old age? The real danger isn't just in waiting, it's in never questioning what we're waiting for. Watts said life should be like music or dancing. The point isn't to get to the end of the song or the last step of the dance. The point is to play it beautifully, now. But the lie we've been sold makes us rush through the melody, always chasing the next note, never hearing the music that's playing. If retirement is your first real chance at life, then maybe you've been living someone else's plan all along. 2. The productivity trap, the illusion of forward motion. Modern society worships productivity. We praise those who grind, hustle, sacrifice sleep, and work 60-hour weeks. But few stop to ask, what are we producing? And more importantly, what are we becoming in the process? Productivity has become a mask, one that hides our disconnection, our fear, and our loss of meaning. Alan Watts once said, "Man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun." Our problem isn't that we're lazy, it's that we've confused activity with purpose. We think that just because we're busy, we're progressing, but often we're just running on a treadmill, going nowhere faster. we go from degree to job, job to promotion, promotion to burnout, chasing a sense of accomplishment that always seems just out of reach. What if we stopped for a moment and asked, why? Why are we racing through life like it's a problem to solve, instead of a mystery to live? The trap of productivity is that it trains you to believe life has to be earned, that rest, joy, freedom must be postponed until you've suffered enough. But Watts reminds us, life is not a means to an end. Life is the end. The freedom you're chasing won't be found in your next promotion or a full calendar. It's found in the moments you stop chasing anything at all. Until you realize that, you'll keep mistaking motion for meaning, and you'll miss the miracle of being alive. 3. The myth of financial freedom, a moving target. We've been sold the myth of financial freedom, the idea that if you just save enough, invest smartly, and hit a certain number, you'll finally be free. But here's the thing, how much is enough? The bar always moves. And most people find that the more they chase financial security, the more enslaved they become by fear of loss. Alan Watts often warned about this. He said, "Money is a way of measuring wealth but is not wealth in itself." Real wealth, in his eyes, wasn't about dollars. It was about freedom of time, freedom of thought, and the freedom to live spontaneously. But our society reverses that. It tells us we need wealth to earn time. In truth, financial freedom has become a trap disguised as a goal. Most people never reach it, not because they're lazy, but because they believe the lie that security and freedom are the same thing. They're not. Real freedom is being unafraid to live without guarantees. 4. The forgotten art of presence. Watts's most powerful lesson wasn't about money or retirement, it was about the present moment. He believed that most suffering comes from living in anticipation of the future. No valid plans for the future can be made by those who have no capacity for living now, he said. Yet we live on autopilot, planning, waiting, hoping. To be truly free is to be rooted in the now, to taste your coffee, to feel the rain, to look someone in the eye. Presence is the birthplace of joy, creativity, and wisdom, and it's completely free. But we ignore it. We scroll, we rush, we schedule, and we wonder why we feel so empty. The moment you stop trying to get somewhere is the moment you arrive. This is what all great spiritual traditions echo, from Zen to Stoicism. They remind us that life isn't happening later. It's happening right now. And every moment you delay presence, you delay your own liberation. 5. The courage to live differently. It takes courage to step away from the life you were programmed to live. To leave the script behind. To pursue a life not of comfort, but of depth. But this is the challenge Alan Watts left us with. You are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. What if you didn't have to wait until 65 to live on your own terms? What if you could start today? The system wants you obedient, predictable, and patient, but you were born to be curious, wild, and awake. Retirement should be a phase of peace, not the first time you feel alive. Imagine a life where work feels like play, where money is a tool, not a master, and where freedom isn't delayed but claimed. That life is possible. But it starts with rejecting the lie and choosing to live now. You've been taught to wait, but life doesn't wait for you. If something in this video spoke to you, don't just nod, act. Leave a comment below. What's one thing you'll stop postponing? Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to live awake, not asleep. And remember, the greatest lie is that freedom comes later. The deepest truth is that it begins now.